Welcome to Salad with a Side of Fries. I'm your host, Jen Trepic, talking wellness and weight loss for real life. We're here to clear up the myths, misinformation, bad science, and marketing to teach you how to eat and how to cheat. Are you ready? I'm having salad with a side of fries. This week, we're talking about the second time around. So I'm really curious. Have you ever read a book a second time? Or maybe watched a TV show a second time? And I'm willing to bet that when you did that or anything you've done a second time, you've noticed something on the second pass that you didn't on the first, right? There's a reason for that. So first of all, we only have so much input capacity, right? And when everything is new, we take some things, let other things go. And often the things that we let go aren't even on our radar, right? It's actually how the human brain works, that it can't take in every single possible detail. And so the second time we do something or read something or see something or learn something, because it's not 100% new, we then have the capacity, the mental bandwidth to notice other things, right? Or hear something that we didn't hear before. So that's at least how I think of it. And there is some real, actual science about it. So it is part of how the brain works. So there was a really interesting NIH study published in 2018 that looked at the effects of repetition learning on associative recognition over time. So specifically with the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex. So think the back of the brain and the front of the brain. So in the study, they referenced previous studies that showed repetition learning significantly increased the recollection contribution to associative memory. So in English, what is this saying, right? In English, what they discovered was that repeating information helps us remember little details and makes it easier for the brain to connect different pieces of information together, like putting the puzzle pieces in the right place. So the more we practice, the better our memory gets at holding on to details and making those connections. So this NIH study concluded that basically when we learn something another time, and in their study, it specifically seems like up to 6 times, each time it helps us shift operating from the back of the brain to the front of the brain, right? The front of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, is our higher order thinking. It's delayed gratification. And specifically, their research looked at associations. And frankly, what's our lifestyle or eating habits but a series of experiences triggering related actions, which are essentially associations that we've learned, right? Hunger, eat cake, eat protein, eat veggies, right? Are you tracking with me, right? Our habits, right? It's all these associations. And then other experts talk about the benefits of doing things a second time to include self-awareness. So as you consider how the first attempt went, what might you want to focus on the second time, right? We get that self-awareness. We can also have enhanced learning. Like we talked about, we can then emphasize areas where maybe we struggled the first time. And the things that we really adopted the first time through, we can get more efficient with because the repetition strengthens those neural pathways. So all of this also helps build confidence. And if you remember, or you're a longtime listener, confidence is one of the ways that we assess our daily wellness. So of course, it's all connected. And oftentimes I say, we have to hear things 7 times, 7 different ways from 7 different people for something to sink in. So in this season of New Year's resolutions or grand commitments for a new year, even if it's not a resolution, I think we have this tendency to focus on bucket list items or things where, like I said, we want to just tick the box and move on. And I do think this time of year, as we're planning, there is a lot of reflecting too, right? What do we want to leave behind in 2024? What are the things that we want to take with us? And there's a piece of that exercise that I love, and I want to add to that. So I want to add to this in terms of saying, what was great in 2024? What do you want to repeat? Or maybe it was something from 2023 or 2022, right? Or any time in our past. What do we want to repeat? What do we want to double down on? Where could you go deeper? And I'll add to that with my own experience, right? In my own, I hate the word journey, right? In my own saga of weight management and health and figuring all this stuff out. When I went through the 12-week curriculum that I've now based my entire practice on and that we're using for the Healthy Vibe Tribe 2025, the first time I went through it, I felt like I was a new person, like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. And then as I continued to repeat the 12 weeks with clients, and I kept learning more and thinking about things differently as there were different applications of the concepts, or I was in a different place. That's what truly allowed me to say I kicked my food issues. So it was the repetition that got me there. It was the repetition, doing things again a second time or a third time or a fourth time. So as you look at wrapping up 2024 and plan for your 2025, what's worth the second time around for you? I encourage you to maybe do some things again, right? Revisit what's worked for you before, bring that into where you are now. And I just want to say, I am living proof that it is beyond worth it to do things again. The second time around makes all the difference. So there you have it, the second time around. Well, as always, everybody, I'm your host, Jen Trepeck. Connect with me on Instagram or all social media. I am at Jen Trepeck, JENNTREPECK. Website is asaladwithasideofries.com. Pick your platform, send a message. I want to hear from you, your ideas, your takeaways. This is also the easiest way to learn more about working with me as your health coach or joining the Healthy Vibe Tribe in 2025. Thank you again to Shannon, Heather, and Jess for joining me on this week's episode. And of course, if you are not already, join our membership program by going to glow.fm/salad with a side of fries. This shows your support for this podcast, this community, and for your health. You'll get this week's recipe for the protein-packed holiday cookies and details for your quarterly live Q&A, which is a one-on-one, just you and me. Well, friends, that's it for today's episode of Salad with a Side of Fries. Congratulations for making yourself and your health a priority. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to click subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast platform. Share us with a friend, and we'll be back next week. Always remember, you deserve it, and you are worth it. Happy healthy.